Oh. All right, guys. Well, welcome back to another episode of The Trenches. Oh shit, dude! It's so first and foremost, it's so great to be back, guys. Welcome to another episode of The Trenches. We got our man SK, Steve crushing it as always. Jay Fine crushing it on the MC, doing his thing. And so, hey man, we got some good stuff we wanted to talk about today. First and foremost, though, I know something that was really important. Like we just brought it up after watching the Lakers Pistons game. That excuse, watch your mouth. What do you mean egregious hit? Are you kidding me?
Look, just because you didn't see the angle, it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Oh, he took an elbow to an eye. Justin, you're saying you've never taken an elbow playing basketball that wasn't meant to take it, like it wasn't a voluntary.
I 100% have, but in this scenario, what happened was 100% intentional.
That was an elbow and a closed fist.
So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, if I'm swinging, I'm definitely closing my fist. But like, you see,
so I thought you said it was an inverted elbow.
He was swinging his arm around to get the guy's arm off. So what happened is, for y'all that can't see or didn't know, like, the Pistons played the Lakers, and my man Stewart, well, not really my man, he kind of looks like a punk now, honestly, but this dude Stewart comes over and has his arm on LeBron. He's kind of falling on him a little bit, head's leaning a little toward him, and LeBron, he's in game mode, as anyone is that is a superior athlete such as us. We are all superior athletes here. He swung his arm back.
No, let him finish.
I'm letting him finish. I ain't saying nothing.
He swung his arm back and pushed it off of him. But because of his body leaning over, you'll see in the video, his body's leaning over and he's falling into him. And what happens? He caught an elbow right in the eye. And then from what I'm hearing from reports is that he was all apologetic, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit him. And this man Stewart is like, well, you know what? It's my time to take the king out. So, he tries to fight him off one-on-one. He's dodging and pretend like he was good, wait for this little lady to hold on to him so he can rip about her. And he basically in the NFL, he was binging dudes off. Bing, 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 knocking all dudes out. Refs were going flying. Coaching staff was up in the air. Mm-hmm. It was a disaster. Buddy even tried to run out the freaking gym to run around, and it was bad. And the guy was just, well, Steve, you were saying this earlier. It's basically like, all right, I got nothing to lose here. I'm already getting fined. I'm getting suspended. It is what it is. Like,
you already stopped the game. It's a delay longer than it should be. You know what I'm saying? But I don't believe that this man should have gotten 2 games opposed to LeBron getting the 1. Because I am looking at this video right now, and I'm gonna,
I was just gonna say,
send that over to Gordon.
While we were letting you rant, we want you to view it from that angle and
take a good look.
Tell me that man.
Looks at it.
That's a punch.
That is a
his hand was not closed.
His hand was not closed.
It's like this, bro. It's like this.
His hand was
like this.
very close.
So was that open or closed?
It's not. This is closed.
Look at it again. Look at it again. Look at it again. That's as close as it gets.
That is a closed
no.
fist.
See, look at
that is a closed fist, ladies and gentlemen.
It's cupped.
That
is a cupped hand.
There's no in between. It's either an open hand smack or a closed fist. You know what I'm saying?
He grabs his lip. He basically grabs his lip. So look at this.
He grabs his lip. Where is that a basketball move?
If your hand is closed, can you grab anything if it's closed? Can I grab you with a closed fist? Can I grab this? Or do I need to have open things so my fingers can catch it?
He made contact with a closed fist on the way coming back down. He opened up
Look at his
hands.
lip. His lip right that way. And you can't miss that. That's a big bottom lip. You cannot miss that.
He came in contact with a closed fist, right? Came in contact. Boom. As he's coming off and looking at him, he's opening his fist. So, yeah, his lip did go the opposite way because his hand was closed and it was opening to say, hey, I probably shouldn't have done that. But at that time, it was too late. And like I was saying before, this man was like, I don't care if you're the king, queen, prince, or whatever you are. I don't care if you're the court jester. I'm coming to get some. Because at the end of the day, that's just respect at that level. You know what I'm saying? Like, that unnecessary.
King was like,
unnecessary.
I don't know. You're making a reference to his lip. He was not mad about his lip.
I'm not saying
he was mad about his eyebrow and he was bleeding. from the eyebrow.
So I mean, like
He got hit in the eyebrow.
He got hit in the eyebrow. Yes, but I'm talking about. So we're honestly trying to see if either he has a closed fist or not, right? That's what we're trying to say. And if you have a closed fist, you go to someone's face, like you're not grabbing anything. But if you have an open fist and it's cupped, you can grab it and move it over from there. And so it's like, all right, so the difference between a closed fist so it's like, oh, you swing me back with a closed fist with intention.
No.
Hit
But
him?
think of the way you just swung. He's not coming forward. He's coming from behind. So his hands can hook. If he's coming at you like this, even if his hands are like this, he can hook you on your lip.
But that's not a closed fist.
This is pretty
It's
close.
pretty damn close to me. I mean, it's not open.
You go to the court of law right now.
Let me tell you what.
Either
If you
it's closed or it's not closed.
If you hit me with that fist, I wouldn't be like, that dude just smacked me. I'd be like, that dude punched me.
He punched me, yeah.
that dude got a weird punch, but he hit me.
Yeah. You're not wrong about that. Sheesh. Hey, did you see that Crawford fight? Did y'all see that?
I didn't see it, but from what I heard, shout out friend of Trenches, friend of Hedge Better, Dan O'Keefe. He was telling me about it.
Okay.
That was a good
Well, it started out. What was it? Crawford got it was Crawford and who was it again? I'm sorry, Crawford and
I'm trying to remember. Sean Porter.
and Porter. Crawford and Porter. And was
Sean Porter.
it Porter? Porter was the one who started off really hot.
He was binking his ass for about the first 5 to
Bing,
6
Yeah.
bing, 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 bing.
rounds.
Right.
And it was looking like.
And then Crawford came back at the end.
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
Right.
So it was looking like, damn, I don't know like what his strategy is. I'm talking about Porter at this point. But then I saw it at the beginning of the 7th round. Crawford was letting Porter just go wild, just keep swinging, tiring himself out. So when it got to like the last 45 to 40 seconds, he would start attacking at that point. And not just body shots, he was going for headshots. Straight up what got him the few knockdowns later on in the match. And that ultimately led to him winning that TKO by that default. But he was just going in on him, Porter, for the first 6.5 rounds, bro. It was crazy. I really thought that that Porter was about to close it out, but Crawford just showed you why he's a champion. You know what I mean?
Damn.
But, yeah, it was some good shit. Y'all need to get into boxing, bro. It's entertaining.
I love boxing. I don't know. I need to get back into it. Like for me, like part of it is like I can't say I'm like an avid enough. Like I like boxing, but I don't like diehard follow it.
Oh, same here.
Like
Yeah,
for me,
same
like
here.
for me, like to tune into it, I need like the hype around the event. You know what I mean? Like I need like something that's like that, like mainstream. Like there's a lot of mainstream hype behind. You know what I mean? I feel like the problem with like a lot of good boxing nowadays is like only avid boxing fans like know the fighters and like understand them. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I feel like the only boxing that like people like at my level of like fandom have been watching lately are like the celebrity fights and like the bullshit like the Jake Paul stuff, like Rough and Rowdy stuff, like stuff like that. Like I can't tell you the last time I tuned in for like an actual like legit pay-per-view fight between two like contenders,
Two legitimate boxers.
You know what I mean? And
not like a UFC versus a boxer, like a legit boxing.
Yeah,
and I love that shit too. I just personally haven't done it, and I for some reason, you know, I don't know. You guys been watching a lot of boxing?
Oh yeah, dude. The Aaron Carter versus Lamar Odom could have been a funny. That could have been a. That could have been a funnier.
First
thing.
off, when they said they were doing that, I mean, look here, they're taking a 6'8" former professional. I don't care if he was a crackhead. He's still a 6'8" professional athlete, and they're putting him up against a former like heroin addict who's just like scrawny, and he was in a boy band. He was a former boy band who was addicted to heroin, and he can barely hold his own body weight up.
Hey,
and
man.
they put him against Lamar Odom, bro. What was up with that?
Hey, man.
That was a true definition of war.
Don't knock the crack addicts, man. Those guys know to get scrappy. The heroin addicts will fall on the streets.
I'm not even knocking anybody. I was like, they didn't even have a weight class or nothing.
They both look like they haven't eaten in a while. They probably did a couple of favors to get they pay for their addiction.
And Aaron Carter went down without Lamar throwing a punch.
and try to resuscitate him, but they couldn't find a vein.
Yep. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know who was smoking on what or drinking on what when they organized that fight, but
They're like two.
they should never do that shit again, bro.
I feel like they paid them to take that fight. Like, you know,
Oh my god.
I feel like Aaron Carter, to be relevant because he just looks like a giant mess, paid them to be on
I
that.
need to be somewhat relevant again. Could you guys? Thanks.
Yeah.
I
like,
wish
"Thank
I
you,
could have
stay
seen
blessed."
Aaron Carter's face when they were like, "Yeah, all right, we found you someone to fight." He's like, "Who?" They're like, Lamar Odom. If I was him, I would have like, "Who's my partner?" Like, what?
I'm not doing this by myself.
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. So all right, so we're tag teaming them, right? I get it. Oh, like a giant athlete against the two little scrawny dudes. Oh yeah, it's funny. I get it. Yeah. No. You're by yourself. What?
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have said. Fuck you
Jesus,
guys.
yeah,
I don't
I'm
know
out
what
of
to
here.
say.
I'd have been like, yeah, I mean, I'm at rock bottom, but I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to die.
Yeah, I'm not that bad. You know?
And I actually didn't see the fight, but I remember hearing Lamar. He beat his ass pretty good, right?
Oh, I saw the highlight.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was so one-sided, and it was a kind of a joke.
Yeah. If you told me it was actually a good, if you like that was a pretty good fight, I would have been like,
Yeah,
no.
hey man, it was one for the ages.
Yeah,
You had to watch
Aaron
it.
held his own.
It was
Yeah,
pretty damn good. Yeah, he snuck him a few times. Nah, Aaron had him on the fucking ropes, right? And it was just pounding on the top of it.
Bro, it was like bow, bow,
He was just pounding on the top of his head.
And then Aaron, I think Lamar was just trying to be like, all right, we need to like make it like somewhat interesting so like we make some kind of money off of this because you know they're not making much money off of it. It's just more for relevancy. And so Aaron's just coming in, just throwing it like this. Oh, just throwing it.
Wacky
and this
inflatable
like this
arm
like, so like heavy waving inflatable too, man. Wacky waving inflatable too, man. Like going silly.
Facts.
And then Lamar is just like, all right, we're done. Bop, 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 bop,
Bopping him on the head like it was whack-a-mole. Like
Yeah.
he was at Chuck E. Cheese. I was like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Bro,
We're not helping this guy right now. His brain is not getting any better
yeah.
from this.
The
You know
second
what I
he
mean?
probably walked into, I want candy or some shit. Everyone should have. Everyone should have been like,
Wrap it up. Let's wrap this one up. Yeah, you
so
can't come in with that weak ass shit, man. But
I want candy.
No, if you notice real quick, he hasn't been in another one since that.
you think he was going to?
I forgot he existed after the fight.
You really thought he was gonna be like, yeah, sign me up for another one? Well, we got Shaq for you this time.
They're like, all right, look, Aaron, it's just a stepping stone. Fight Lamar Odom, then Dancing with the Stars.
No, he's not going on.
Shout out to Shumpert for winning that shit though.
He won it? I thought he made it to the
Yeah.
finals. I didn't know he won.
Yeah, he won that. I didn't watch any of it, but I just seen like, the highlights and all this shit. But people were giving him tweets and like IG congratulations, all that stuff. So shout out to him for winning that. That's a pretty good thing.
That's pretty crazy because like I heard like that he was like the first basketball player to make it that far.
Yeah,
something like that.
yes.
And so I guess but if that's the case, then he's the first basketball player to win, right?
I would think so.
I would think so. All
I
right,
would
well,
think so.
congrats,
That's
man.
what I'm saying. Whatever it is, like he did that shit. So shouts out to him on. A lot of former basketball players doing things, big things. JR.
Yeah, golfing.
Yeah, the JR's golfing thing is freaking amazing. That he
he's
was
really
able
good.
to figure out the system and do that, and I think he's actually playing, like you said. I'm pretty sure he's playing pretty well.
He's playing actually pretty well. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of golf, but from what I've seen, he's been pretty nice with it. Hitting it on the green. I saw him hit a couple birdies too. So I was like, all right.
He's hitting birdies.
He was hitting a couple birdies.
JR doesn't know how much time's left on the clock, but he can hit a birdie on the golf course.
There's no clock. You know what I'm saying? There's no clock. It's just him and his own thoughts out there. I love it.
That's amazing because it's like actually the first tournament that he played because NCAA like it's right there, right? It's in Greensboro. The first tournament that they played was at Elon. And he played at Elon, and like it's so funny because I was hearing some like rumors or whatever because like some people talk a little bit or whatever that like the guys were like playing against him, but they were just like they wanted to know more about like what he was doing, like than actually
Obviously, yeah,
like they're like, oh my god, like is that JR's?
I want to talk to you. I don't care if I hit me on scholarship. I want to talk to J.R. Smith. Be like, yeah.
I mean, hey man, if you let JR win his first one at Elon, it's pretty historic, right? So
His
you know,
first match here.
he beat me. I lost to JR Smith. Like it is
Either
what
way,
it is.
yeah, either way you go with that one, it's a win-win.
It's a win.
I won or I lost against J.R. Smith. Either way, cool. We got a story to tell.
You got it.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, speaking of stories to tell, have y'all seen that Man in the Arena?
Yes,
you seen it?
episode 2 is on tonight.
Yeah, it's supposed to air tonight.
Yeah, so I saw episode 1. You guys, I'm assuming you saw episode 1, right?
So I was trying to see it the other day when I went to my boy's crib right before the Crawford fight, and we just weren't paying attention all the way to it.
okay.
You know
Wait,
what
so
I'm
I
saying?
haven't.
So-
I don't know what this is. Can you
Oh,
guys
you don't know what
elaborate
this
on this?
is?
Elaborate
Go
on it.
ahead.
Elaborate on it.
So they basically, this is like it's an ESPN production, but like they produced it almost like it's like an HBO show in the sense that it's like uncut. So it's raw. It's unfiltered. Like Tom Brady swears his ass off. It's kind of great, but it's a Tom Brady like docuseries that kind of chronicles him. And I mean, we've yet to see anything other than episode 1.
That's it.
Yeah, episode 2 airs tonight, but basically it's supposed to chronicle like the Tom Brady saga and like legacy, like through his eyes and like other people's around his eyes, like former teammates, coaches, stuff like that. Episode 1 was great because I think, and a lot of people know this, but I mean, look, you can't talk about I'm not gonna go into the whole episode and tell it for it, but like you can't talk about the Tom Brady saga without talking about Drew Bledsoe and what happened with Drew Bledsoe. And
Yeah, big time.
when you were in episode 1, focused heavily around Drew Bledsoe and Tom and their relationship in the dynamic, and basically that first year, that 2001 season after Drew got injured, and how Tom kind of took the ranks and just how that whole season played out.
Right.
And I gotta say, it was absolutely incredible. It was absolutely incredible, for a couple reasons. One, I think people forget just how wacky the series of events was and all the decisions and things that took place that led to like Tom Brady. I mean, forget the fact that, he gets drafted where he does at pick 199, but Drew Bledsoe had just signed his big max contract, right?
Huge.
Broke records. It was the first $100 million deal.
Yep.
And so, everyone and prior to that, the Patriots had been building a team for the last couple years, right? They went to the Super Bowl in 96.
Everybody forget that.
Everyone forget that. They went in 96 to the Super Bowl, 97, 98, 99, 2000. They were rebuilding. They had a really good defense, young Willie McGinnis. Like that defense was what got the Patriots to where it was. So coming into that 2001 season, this was a team that just signed their quarterback to a long-term deal. They had what was supposed to be one of the better defenses in football, and they had aspirations of winning a Super Bowl. And then Bledsoe goes down week 2. Brady comes in. It was straight rough start with Brady.
Oh, very.
And then basically, fast forward, talks about how Brady then gets hurt in the AFC Championship. Bledsoe comes in and finishes the game off. He's incredible. It's one of the best games, in recent memory that he has. And then Belichick comes out to everyone's shock and says, but Tom's starting the Super Bowl. And, and it's just the whole thing about how Bledsoe had to be a combination of not only like so selfless, but just like he's so selfless and supportive at the same time. Like when you watch those interviews, like it's tough to do what Bledsoe. I couldn't have done what Bledsoe did.
That shit just ate him up all inside.
That
was just killing him.
And that was so. There's one, and I know I've been rambling. I'll turn it over back to you guys. But there's one specific story that Bledsoe told on the ski lift. That's the one that really got to me because that put everything into perspective. Like you just won the Super Bowl. And
your team just won the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Your team just won the Super Bowl, and you had no desire to stick around. Like you took off, you headed for the slopes, and you're there by yourself. And he said he just broke down on the ski lift and started crying. And basically, 11 a.m. the morning after the Super Bowl,
by himself in North Dakota. Do you know how low you have to be to be on a ski lift in North Dakota by yourself at 11 a.m.?
The morning after your team just won the Super Bowl.
It's February.
Damn.
So it's February.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
I'm saying
well,
He was in New Orleans the night before.
I mean, well, that is.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Exactly,
it was
yeah.
nice, but then he was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck this! I gotta get out of here."
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Imagine the party that team and organization had down in New Orleans,
And they
he
didn't
want.
sleep.
He didn't want any part of it.
I couldn't have any part of it.
I mean, I said I wouldn't not have any part of it, but I definitely would be like, I didn't win the Super Bowl. Tom won the Super Bowl. You know, I might have brought us here, but
no. That's how he felt. He felt like it had been robbed from him. But by the same token, like, look, everyone as an athlete and competitor knows like what he was going through, and for him to be able to suck it up and be as supportive and help make Tom what he is today, like, you got to take your hats off. If you're a Patriots fan, if you're a fan of Tom Brady, if you're a fan of the Patriots, if you're a fan of football in general and competition, like, you got to be a fan of Drew Bledsoe and what that man did to help kickstart the legacy.
I would say this. After the first, it will take me a while, but after probably like the first 5 years, I'll be like, all right, cool. I'm always going to be linked to this guy. People can't say his name without like, hey, who did he come in and replace? You know what I'm saying? Because like Justin was just saying, it wasn't even about the money at that point. He just signed a $100 million max contract, like first of his kind. Yeah. That he didn't even care about the money so much that he was just like, I really had this team before. We went to the promised land before, and now we got this new guy coming in, and he's not bad. He's really not bad, but I just lost everything that I worked my whole life and career for, all down the drain. It's not like he was a bad guy. It's just an unfortunate event happened. You know what I'm saying? Then got shipped off.
Dude, I gotta know, where is that ring? Because, you know, he got a ring. He won a Super Bowl without actually playing the Super Bowl.
You know that one's.
But that's something like. Does he have it out?
He doesn't have it.
Is it in a drawer somewhere? Because it's
Probably
like
gave it to his
it's
son or something.
You know,
it's like a shame.
You
It's
know
like a
that,
shame.
yeah. You know
like,
that's something he still has, but it's definitely like not on display.
No,
Like,
it's just something in a corner and like somewhere safe, like somewhere like where he'll never see it.
He'll put his high school and like college like accolades out before we
You
ever
see the
that
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl ring.
And like,
And that's some real shit though.
and you know what? You know,
Facts.
Some real shit.
and you know what has to suck too is like not forget that specific season. Take into account that dude was with that team for years, grinding, helping them build to get to the precipice of where they were to be a championship team in 2001. So then he puts in all the work, helps lead them, like grinds, misses out on the championship run. And then shortly after that, I forget whether it was the following season or the season after
I
that,
think it was 2 seasons.
they ship him to Buffalo
Bills.
to a shithole division rival where he was just doomed to live out the rest of his career as like a nobody in like mediocrity. And what happened? Does anybody remember anything from the Drew Bledsoe days? Yeah, I remember there was a few connections with Peerless Price and a few other dudes up there. I remember that, but he didn't win nothing. I don't even know if they ever were a playoff team with him. Like, it's just a really sad. Yeah, it was a really sad situation. And it's like, look, by the same token, I mean, hey, would I rather him be sitting there than Brady right now? No, but I mean, look, it just goes to show you that, hey, it is funny when they say like for everything like good, like there's a give and take for everything. You know what I mean? Like the equal and opposite reaction. Exactly. It was like
I got these for days.
You know what I'm saying? Like for that dude, for us to get what we got out of Tom, and not only just what Tom got like in his career, but for the Patriots, their dynasty, the fans, what we got, everything we've enjoyed. Like one man's like career and like legacy had to be ruined. You know, and that's real shit. It really is.
Give and take.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, what do you guys think about that shit? It's crazy.
I want to see episode. Well, first of all, I want to finish episode 1.
Wait, how do you not have that finished? Like, what do you mean you do?
Because I was like preparing to go out there. It was on the Saturday. So I was over at my boy's crib. We just put it on before we went out. Wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, I get you.
In the background.
I'm one of those guys that like if I start something like and it's actually like not something to get back, and not like The Office, like I have to like make time to sit and watch it. Like I haven't even seen Dune yet. I want to see Dune so badly, but like
the one on HBO.
Yeah. But like because I know that I don't have the 2.5 hours like after doing stuff like that. I haven't started. I can't even start because I'm not going to start something if I'm not going to finish it.
I know.
It's like my mental thing. Like I can't like start something and not finish
You
it.
have to complete the. Well, honestly, no. Now it's so popular, and because like everyone in today's society, everyone wants to binge watch. Like people hate waiting week to week. So now what they're doing is because it's so popular, and like they're releasing it 1 week at a time. They got a reaction show. So like they have like a show that you can watch. I believe it's on ESPN as well, where it's like other people that like weren't necessarily in the episode or maybe like are doing bonus content, like reacting to them watching that episode, and then they have a reaction to the reaction episode.
Who's the reaction to that? Like just regular fans at that point?
I think at that point it's like so basically the reaction episode is like former like players and coaches, staff like watching and giving their take, and then the reaction to the reaction show are like analysts, columnists, radio hosts, like people from the time giving their reaction to the reaction.
You could at least made it cool by like making
that's
a
what I'm
fan
saying.
like, reaction, like, oh, I didn't know that at the time. You know what I'm saying?
No,
another analyst.
But they're basically making it so you got 3 things to watch a week instead of 1. If you're
That's a lot of content.
Yeah.
That's a lot of content.
That's a lot of content.
So wait. So we're still talking about Brady real quick.
Yeah.
Did you watch the game last night?
Yeah.
Did you watch it? Brady?
I was getting drinks with a chick.
Okay, yeah. Kudos to you. Got you.
Oh, what?
I said
No.
kudos to you,
I
got
saw.
you.
So like Mike Evans basically saved me because like he got me enough points. Well, Eckler really saved me because Eckler
saved a lot of people
40
this week.
points. I won by 5 points. And Eckler's 40 points, and then Mike Evans 5 points, and then the -4 points from Pittsburgh's fucking shitty defense. I'm sorry, the Colts next week on defense, but it was a good win. Your boy's number 3 in the 3 in my side league. I'm still like second. Oh, not last. Because Justin's trash at fantasy. But
I know, yeah.
Justin's literally the worst fantasy player.
I was not last.
Facts. Yo, Justin, what's your punishment gonna be?
Did we even talk about
Dude,
this?
we need to figure that out.
Yeah, we didn't.
So we have like a hedge better fantasy league, and we
Just don't come in last.
and it's we got to get them with the punishment. And so we're trying to figure out what punishment would be justifiable for the group. Right? You got people all over the place doing certain things, but we want to make it embarrassing, but not like career ending. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do something good. So if y'all have any suggestions, any and all, we are completely open. And if we think we're dumb, we're just gonna, we'll probably comment and say,
You know what?
God damn, you
Yo.
1 in 10?
Yeah.
Hold on, but
Yeah.
He said, "K, hold on."
But let me tell you something real quick. Let me tell you something.
Can we hold up for a sec? And I actually think, fuck, my phone's broken. But I think a good punishment. First off, I'll own up to it. I think a good punishment will be, I'll throw a little get together at the Hedge Better studio. I'll get the food. I'll get the booze. I'll have everybody here.
No.
We'll have a good time.
No, I don't want you to buy off. No, hold on. I don't want you to buy off me. Buy me
That's
off.
not my-
I need you to be embarrassed.
That's
I need
called
you to
working
do.
the system.
I need
Hey.
you to be on stage.
Then
like
you guys,
comedy show. Like
you guys,
you have to do stand up like a 15
then you guys should have said that ahead of time.
Oh, look at this
You guys should
guy.
have said that ahead of time.
Alpha Trump coming
But
through,
hold on.
boy.
Is
Go
this
ahead.
is this me?
Yeah, I got you right here. Hold on.
Okay, hold on.
There
Can
you
I
go.
look real quick? Because I don't want to make this about me and my fantasy team.
And this terrible fantasy.
But hold on. If I told you this is my roster, would you tell me I'm a 1 in 10 team? Okay. In the backfield, I got Dalvin Cook, Damian Harris, and Antonio Gibson. Okay. At wide receiver, I got Deontay Johnson, Amari Cooper, Tyler,
Mark Cooper.
Robert
Yikes.
Woods, Tyler Boyd, Jacoby Myers. Like I got Patriots defense.
Jacoby Myers hasn't scored a touchdown
Look,
yet.
I'm not saying I got a great team. He got one the other day.
Oh, he got one?
He got one.
Oh, so his dad will stop making fun of him?
It was
Literally,
garbage
it was-
time though.
that was making
It was
Bro,
garbage time.
they were talking about it on, I forget, when we were playing the Jets. Like, this was like before he scored.
Yeah.
And the analyst was just like, oh, you're excited for you to get that first touchdown? And he's like, oh, yeah, we talked to Jacoby Myers. And he was asking, like, what would you do? He's like, it's like, my dad will finally stop texting me about it. And I'm like, yo.
what I would do if I was a father. But you're gonna get your one.
His dad's probably like,
Maybe.
how long are they gonna pay you before you actually put one in? Put one in the end
Actual
zone?
position again. I'm not sure. What do you do?
You're
Because you don't score
Wait,
touchdowns.
my son's a running back, huh? My son's a running
He's
back.
a running back that does not like.
He's
to score
getting yards, but
touchdowns.
refuses to score
Yeah.
across the play.
He stops right at the one.
He stops at the one, takes a knee.
He's a team player. You feel me?
He's the number one receiver that only has one touchdown in the season.
No.
And it's absurd. And then we're number one in the AFC East. How are we doing this?
We're the most. Look,
That's what I'm saying.
How are we doing
Let's
this?
talk about that. How are we number one in the
you
AFC
guys
East?
tell me what you think, and I'm gonna tell you this right. I've said it on multiple different shows. I've said it in private to friends. I've said this for a while. The Patriots are the hottest team in football. They are the best team in the AFC, and they are, I think, the most complete team in football. Most complete team in football. Now, don't hear what I'm not saying. Hear what I'm saying is they're the most complete team, right? Like, for instance, would I potentially on any given night maybe rather the Chiefs offense? Yes. But when you combine how bad that defense is with that Chiefs offense, like, I'll take the Patriots defense combined with our offense. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're very right. They're a very balanced. They're a very balanced team that excels pretty much in all areas of the game. Where like all these other teams that we're talking about have major holes. Bucks, major holes in the secondary. Rams, major holes as of late, losing games. Cowboys, they're losing games now.
Cowboys are just doing cowboy.
You know what I'm saying? But I just really think the Patriots are the most complete team of football. I don't know. You guys tell me.
And I really want to see what the rest of our schedule's looking like, because that's gonna be needed. Hold on, let me see.
Lakers, Russell Westbrook just got slapped across the
That was
face.
Wait, what happened?
This is hold on, but this is actually an accident. That's actually an accident.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. He got fucking bitch slapped across the face. Russ.
Yeah, Buddy didn't know he was there.
I didn't
On
even.
him or him?
No. Russ hit his face off this dude's shoulder. Look it.
Is his shoulder? I thought it was a fucking slap.
Oh, maybe he did get slapped.
That was so inverted.
Very inappropriate. The dude was like
Like going like this,
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a hand right there.
Put a hand up,
You
like,
know what
that's-
I'm saying?
Who just throwing hands out like that? Who runs like that? You just throwing hands back there like this? Like, oh yeah, let me just turn it like this. Oh, I'm gonna slap a guy back in the head. Like, come on now.
I don't know about that.
That was a little dirty to me.
That was a little dirty to me.
Hey,
I'm just
actually,
saying.
LeBron has got this has not been a good week for LeBron. Not to bring it back to LeBron,
We're bringing it back to the
Hold up.
LeBron
because
James.
also
LeBron James.
not only did he did he get made to kind of look, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, he kind of looked scared in that situation, right? Like that
He's
dude,
like, I'm sorry.
he's like he looked like he committed a cheap play. And then he like was trying to act like, why is this guy upset at me? Oh my God. Like, why is he being so angry? Like,
Michael Jordan would never.
yeah, no.
All I'm saying is that's why LeBron has one game and Stewart has 2 games.
Michael
But-
Jordan would never.
But did you see what happened last Friday night when he came to Boston? I know they lost, but did you see what Enes Kanter did?
Oh, didn't he say something about like the shut up and dribble thing or whatever?
No, Enes Kanter got cussed. So Kanter, do you guys know what's going on with Enes Kanter?
No, what's up? I know
Explain-
he has.
yeah, I
Like,
know-
he has like some bread on his head
And like
going
some
back to the country.
and like some social justice thing.
so-
Yeah, like he has some big bread
So
on
so
his head.
so Enes Kanter, right? He's like a big like social advocate, right?
Right.
And he's been trying to speak up for a lot of
Social
a lot of different social, but he doesn't have like one specific cause. Like he does have a couple of big ones, but like he's not just like tied to one thing specifically.
Right.
Like he's kind of just like a humanitarian in general, right?
Yeah.
So like a couple of the big ones is like I believe they're like I don't want to mispronounce it, but it's like the Urgian or Urgian like Muslims that I think it's like a sect of like Asian Muslims that are like it's like Middle Eastern / like Asian like Muslims that are being persecuted in China right now. They're being put in like concentration camps and enslaved and like killed. Like it's literally like they're
I have to do some research.
yes,
on this,
yes. So so he was calling. His big thing was he was calling China out and the
Yes,
NBA
he is.
out
Yeah.
because he's like, China is literally enslaving groups of people running concentration camps like some Nazi shit, and nobody's saying anything. The NBA is not doing anything, and and then he started attacking LeBron because he was like, LeBron, why won't you call? You're the most influential person. Like, why won't you call them out? And I guess this went back for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, we can talk more about like the history and like the other issues that.
Yeah, let's not go down that rabbit
Right.
hole.
We won't.
Well, I know like the gist, like
But-
basics of
right.
China, but
Right, but so basically, what it came down to is Cantor's been very vocal on how LeBron like will speak up like for issues here, but he won't speak up against like issues
Picking
in
and
other.
choosing.
Right, he's basically saying LeBron, why? He's like, why are you picking and choosing issues, right? And so he put the other night when the Lakers came to Boston, he got custom shoes, and you can find them on the internet where it's LeBron getting crowned king by Mao Zedong, the leader of China. And
that's so wild.
yeah, and he rocked those shoes for the game. Those were his game worn shoes.
Yo, that dude
Yeah.
Cantor is so outspoken. I respect it highly. But this is a quote from what he said recently. He said, "Sad and disgusting how these athletes pretend they care about social justice. They really do shut up and dribble when Big Boss China said so." And it just really, and like, as much as that's so wild, like it kind of that happens,
he's
you know,
speaking
when China
facts,
is
he's
like,
speaking facts,
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
you
Like,
can't be mad at a person ever if they're speaking a truthful statement.
He's basically saying, "Hey, in America, like it's kind of like it's kind of like popular right now to like speak up for it, like social justice. In other parts of the country where they're paying you to shut up, you can't just shut up just because they pay you to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
it's like your money's more, your income is more important than social justice. Like, if that's the case,
Right.
then you need to like, check what you're trying to be an advocate of.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you can't just be a partial advocate. You got to be an advocate, you know?
right.
So
And that's actually, it's funny that, well, not funny, but the issues that he's talking about with China, like again, like
Those are some pretty big ass
those
issues.
are some pretty big ass issues because
Huge
again, like
and that's why I'm just sitting here in disbelief. Like I haven't heard anything about.
oh
it. Like,
no,
that's
look this up
wild.
because look, here's the thing: people have been talking about for decades, like sweatshops in China, and yes, obviously sweatshops are bad, child labor is bad. There's obviously arguments to be made though that like
But when you're persecuting someone against their religion or their culture,
exactly,
belief,
that's a completely separate.
Yeah.
There's a big argument between like exploiting people who are willing to work and like actually like enslaving and persecuting people based upon like their race or religion. Like this is some shit that you read about in like textbooks and you go, oh, I hope this never happens again. Like that was a dark time of the past. And he's basically being like, this is happening right now. This isn't like textbook shit that happened.
So get off your
Yeah.
ass and let's do something.
Exactly.
You don't want people to tell you shit.
And
I can see where he's
and
coming from.
then the tennis player. Did you guys hear about the tennis player?
What
what tennis player?
Oh, whoa! This is
What tennis player?
the same. So, based going off of China, I forget her name. I don't want to mispronounce it or say something it wasn't. But she's a Chinese tennis player. She plays in.
Oh, yes, I know. I got my pictures down in Georgia.
She's a member of
Yeah.
like the Women's National Tennis Association, and she's from China. And she basically came out and said that someone very high up in the Chinese elitist society in the government raped her.
Like sexually assaulted.
Like
and
it
all
sexually
that stuff.
assaulted her. And then guess what happened?
She's there.
She disappeared. She disappeared.
What the fuck did I tell you?
She disappeared, bro.
I be watching forensic files like it's nobody's business, bro. You don't speak out against these people.
You don't.
You don't. Russia, China, Slovak, any of those spies, bro. You don't do it because once you're found up missing, you're eventually gonna be found dead, and that's the worst thing about it. And I'm sorry that she had to be brought up in that fucking situation, but I'm even sadder that she. And it sucks to say this, but I'm sadder that she said something because we all knew that was going to happen next.
Wow.
Yeah. Everybody knew that was going to happen next.
Yep.
And once again, I'm sad that she said something, not because you're a woman, you're not supposed to say anything. That's dead. I don't believe in that. I'm saying that where she was, that wasn't the right spot to do it because
exactly.
This is the situation
in the reason why this is relevant too is because this fed into Cantor's whole argument, because when this happens, this was the most recent thing to happen with China connected to sports. In a lot of the women's players, like the Williams sisters and a lot of like the high profile tennis players and the Women's Tennis Association themselves came out and said, hey, what's going on here? Like they were trying to raise awareness to the situation, right? Because their fellow competitor is gone missing, and now they're trying to be like, whoa, what's going on? So the women of women's tennis are speaking out, and Cantor joined that cause, and he was like, hey, whoa, are we not all paying attention to this tennis player that just went missing? And then he brought it back to LeBron, and he was like, hey, you haven't called them out for their child labor or their sweatshops or their internment, like their concentration camps on like Asian Muslims. He was like, you want to say something about this tennis player that just went missing, this fellow professional athlete that just went missing? So like that's how it like kind of all came full circle, right. And that like to when LeBron came back to Boston that night. But yeah, like shit, no one's really talking about that stuff, but that is some of that's some shit you hear about and you think it happened 80, 100 years ago. Legitimately.
Like this is some shit like I would probably have to see on Reddit. Something like that.
Yeah. Well, there is some good news. They did find she did end up popping up.
No. She didn't end up popping up. Her social media accounts all of a sudden started posting updates being like, oh, I'm fine, like I'm this and that. Ooh. She herself physically has nowhere to be seen. She's
this
just
is some you vibes, you know. When you get some, you just start texting them off their phones, like
she is 100%. She is 100% missing. It's just that whoever, obviously the Chinese government,
no like live proof that she's
only social media,
other than some updates on her social media being and on her social media accounts. Shortly after, her post exposing it was deleted, and then she went missing, and then another post appeared in her social accounts of her being like, I was just kidding, I didn't mean any of that stuff, like blah blah blah, I'm fine her. And then so I mean, for the love of God, people, what is going on, huh? This is some like medieval time shit.
Oh, I gotta go back. Like this, this is crazy.
Oh yeah. This is real. This is real crazy. Yeah.
Damn.
Talk about the trenches in the sports world. This is the
real trenches.
Oh my God.
Just so we just want to put it out there though. If China wants to pay us money, like we'll shut up. It's fine.
That being said, yes.
That being said,
the trenches. Hey, China, this could be the last episode we discuss this.
Down.
As we might never bring it up. China. I mean, hey.
Episode 21 of the trenches, we're all just decked out in like Gucci.
So we're coming to you live from HQ 2. This is our second HQ. Ni hao, my fellows.
It's everywhere around here. All right.
We're outside. We outside.
We are sponsored by PF Chang's.
PF Chang's.
I like that one.
And co-produced by Panda Express.
We got some boba tea.
Make sure you get yourself some Nikes next time.
Oh man.
The new Jordans is coming in. Yeah, that is so funny.
Yeah, that was some
but yeah, we're very
that was
open
some
to
dark
getting
shit.
sponsored.
Yeah,
but-
no, yeah, definitely. Honestly, no, it's definitely some weird shit going on. I think it's just crazy that people like the sports world isn't talking about that stuff more.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they would lose too much money out of that.
that's exactly what it
so
is. That's exactly what it
They
is.
just want to shove that to the side.
Oh, and actually, in response to that, China banned women's tennis. They were like, because women's
By
tennis.
the way,
Yeah, they were like, oh, by the way, you want to call attention to it? Banned. You're out.
No, none for you.
I-
No soup for you.
And my first thing was gonna be like, aren't these people in China eventually gonna start to be like, why don't we have tennis anymore? Huh? What? There's no tennis. What happened with that? And then they're gonna.
As if they watched it anyways.
Yeah, well, but like I don't know. Eventually, people got to start to catch on.
Millions of
Like,
people over there. There was
you know,
there was
There's
some
gotta be
groups.
somebody.
There was some
There's
groups that
a couple
watching
out
it.
there.
Yeah.
somebody got to
Some
catch
groups
on
are
eventually
watching
to
it.
something.
So I got a question for y'all because I know we kind of went down that hole, but it's something I wanted to ask. I was thinking about last week, like, nah, I want to be in person with y'all. We're thinking about this is from a football standpoint. We're looking at football and whatnot, and an acquaintance of mine brought this question up to me, and I guess everyone kind of has their own same kind of variations. But there's always like one or two outliers that end up being different, and then some nutballs saying, this from another coaches, but. Who would you say? This is coaches now.
I'm trying to speak as a coach.
Yeah, no. Top 5 coaches in the league right now. Not ever, not history.
talking
Who
about
would do?
college or pros?
No, pros.
Pros?
Professional coaches right now. He was curious because one of my acquaintances had a little brace debate with his group, and we were off by like one or two of them, but definitely wanted to get your guys' opinions
So we're saying top professional coaches right now.
right now, and professional football.
Are you saying just based on this season alone, or just who are the best coaches
Just who
left
are the best
in the
coaches
NFL?
in the league right now? Yeah.
Are we going from? You want to go from top to bottom? Bottom top?
Yeah, just give you your 5, and then
So all right, so I
unless you want to do a snake draft. Nah. All right, yeah, give us your 5. We'll go from there.
all right, so I don't after number one. I'm gonna say number one's Belichick, and then the
That's
next.
both. Yeah.
That was another factor in it. You can't say Bill because it's clearly that he's the best coach of all time.
So can we not put him in the top 5?
No, he's just like the greatest. Like he'll be number 4. It's like it's pointless because he's number 1 in everyone's category. So it's like
Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say I love Harbaugh in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I love Tomlin in Pittsburgh. I love what's his name? Oh my goodness. Chiefs, Andy Reid.
that's a good call. That's a good one.
Andy Reid. Those I love those 3. I really do have to give respect to what's his name in Buffalo, Sean McDermott.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I think he's actually really good. I think he's turned that franchise around. I know they're not where they need to be, but I actually really like him. I think he's a good players coach, and I think like he's helped turn that franchise around. Number 5, this is tough. Part of me wants to say Sean Payton, but I don't know. I think 5's kind of a toss up. Where are you at with the last 2?
You said Tomlinson.
Yeah, my first 3 were Bill, Tomlin, and Andy Reid. Oh no, I'm sorry, and Harbaugh. I had to say Harbaugh because I couldn't say Bill.
I would say, oh boy, Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
I would say him. There's a lot of moving pieces.
Hey,
in this
Wycliffe Kingsbury.
because there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of people that are hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's built up a pretty good roster. It's coming through. And then who's Green Bay's coach?
LaFleur, yeah.
LaFleur.
Vive LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur. Yeah, I would say him.
I think it's interesting neither of us put Sean McVay in there.
I can't, man.
And
I
I
told you.
no,
I already told you about mine.
Like he was gonna be my number 3, honestly.
See, no, I
because
already told you about my thing with him.
Wait,
It was about 2 weeks ago. I was like, yo, he's a good offensive coordinator. But being the head coach, I don't see it.
I don't know. I
And
feel
being
like
a head coach is like going on all 3 phases of the game. Offense, defense, and special teams.
I just think the Rams have really turned their whole game around ever since he was there. You know, ever since he showed up. Yeah, it's hit or miss, but like look at where they are now. Like they have one of the best defenses in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get it, but like it's not really
shitted on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wait, sorry, not to interrupt, but none of us said Vrabel. What do you think about Vrabel?
I don't. He's not in my cons. He's not in my top.
man.
He's
No.
not in it for me.
I looked
no.
at him. I skipped over him. I looked at the list. I skipped over him.
Because I didn't think about him, and then he came to mind. I was
It's
thinking about
Derrick
it.
Henry doing all that shit, bro.
Granted, they do have an offense, but it's just like
The offensive line was already there, though.
Offense line was already set.
It was already
the
there.
receivers are balling with AJ Brown, but like, and Julio Jones is irrelevant. The defense is okay, but it's like, dude, honestly, what are they 7-3 now? Didn't they just lose? I think they're like one of the worst 7-3 teams
because of their conference. Their conference play,
it's
they
like weird,
really go
bro.
down to it.
You know who this year? I'm actually kind of sad because I think going into this year, I thought he was one of the best young coaches in the NFL, and that was Brian Flores down in Miami. And I'm actually kind of really bummed out that like his team is 2-7 right now,
Yep.
because. That was a team that
2-7,
that was a team I had high expectations for. He went in last year. He did a great job, not only doing a great job with what he had, but he went down there and he was strategic. You notice how many ex-Patriots players, ex-Super Bowl roster caliber players wound up down in Miami, still down there.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like he's drafted. He's got talent around him. Like I'm actually really disappointed. Well, I mean, obviously as a Patriots fan, I don't dislike Miami not being good this year, but I actually had really high hopes for them. I thought under Flores they were going to get better every year, and I was considering him a really good coach. But I don't know. This year makes me
if they
take
just
a step
had
back.
a solid quarterback, I think we could put them in that conversation. Not saying that they were going to make the playoffs or anything like that for this year or the next year, but they could have put in the stepping stones to see that or to show that to the fans, and not the fans in the organization at least. But they took a major step back this year.
They did.
A major step
They really
back.
did.
And clearly Tua is not it. He's not the
Tua,
answer.
I mean,
he is not the
he
answer.
hasn't been though
He's
for
not
a
the
while,
answer. But we already knew that.
Yeah.
And they really try to give this man the benefit of the doubt.
which I respect.
You got to respect that, and I'm not taking anything away from that. Like I said, that's another quarterback that was built by Bama, but he is not Mac fucking Jones.
Mac
Either
fucking
I digress.
Jones.
They need to do everything in their power to get Deshaun.
Mac Easy Kill
They need
Jones.
to do everything in their power to get Deshaun.
Mac
to
Precision
Miami.
Jones.
Like really though, real talk. They need to get Deshaun over there
That
because
they do.
they just need a spark. If they had like a spark, then that would give them motivation and be like, all right, we can hang around with these teams. We could actually compete with some teams. Oh, we actually have someone who's been to the top or close to the top that can lead us in the right direction. Let's do it. But Tua hasn't been there. He's been to the top, but at the collegiate level, this is the pros. Whole nother ball game.
So, question.
Yeah.
I know we have a lot of tops, and like I would say, freaking obviously Bill Belichick is number one, but like we all say that this is everyone after the number one, and then I got Tomlin up there.
Yeah.
And I do think Payne is one of the historically one of the best is Sean Payne, and obviously McVeigh. And I'm more of an Andy Reid coach. I've always been like a big Andy Reid guy because of how he develops his quarterbacks and got to go from
with
there.
the Eagles, that was pretty fun back in the day.
Yeah, facts. He
fun.
did a lot with Donovan McNabb, and honestly, he's been doing a lot with Pat Mahomes too. So
Yeah.
like, think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a way bigger skill set than Donovan too.
One name that we have not brought up, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised.
Let's hear it.
Pete Carroll.
No.
No.
You don't think Pete Carroll?
I
would be
think
on that
Pete Carroll.
list?
I think Pete Carroll. I
Go
thought
look
about
back and
him.
Go back
I'm not
and look
putting
at
him.
his
I'm not
roster.
putting him on my. I'm not saying he's on my list, but I feel like he deserves a conversation.
His team, his defense
Yeah.
deserves that conversation. You know what I mean? And that's real talk.
Yeah,
His
100%.
defense deserves that conversation. They're the one who got them there.
Those
Look,
guys
Pete-
were nasty
Pete,
back
Pete,
then.
Pete Carroll's a good players coach. Like,
Boom,
The
come
Legion
on.
of Boom was wild.
wow.
Think about that name off rip. Just a Legion of Boom. Like, goddamn.
Exactly.
Like that.
I don't want to get hit by him.
Yeah. you telling me there's a safety I have to worry about this game? Not a defensive lineman, not an outside linebacker, not a middle linebacker, not even a fucking corner. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's like a little stinger, little slot. I have to worry about your fucking strong safety coming down to decapitate me.
Literally
Every
coming to lay the
fucking
boom.
game, every fucking down.
Wild.
That's a problem, and that's why I say I can't put him up there. It was
Coming
his,
downhill. Oh.
It was his fucking squad. It was his fucking squad that did that. Bobby Wagner, back in the day, Bobby Wagner.
Wagner was wild.
Yeah, because if you look at Pete Carroll's history, like before that tenure with the Seahawks, like nothing impressive.
It was all college, and he wasn't doing anything crazy.
It was all college. Don't forget, he was here in New England for 3
But he
years.
sucked.
He did a shit job every year. He got worse here in New England. Like he's
That's why I
never
went back to college.
and even in college, I mean, like he did okay. He was at the USC for a while. They were pretty good, but like his only real success came at the hands of Russell Wilson and the Legion of Boom. Like that. And notice how after that first year, after that year they won, Russell Wilson's rookie year, when the Legion of Boom was at their height, after it started to kind of trickle a little part, the year after, they lost Brandon Browner,
Yep.
and then at the year after that, they lost a few
Browner was
more.
wild.
They lost a few more pieces. After that, once the Legion of Boom started to dissipate, they didn't win another Super Bowl. And then,
Right.
you know what I mean? And then Marshawn gets older. Marshawn leaves. They traded away pieces of their O-line. Like some of their,
They didn't
you know
let
what
him
I
run
mean?
on the 1 yard line.
It's like that.
That was their literally
That
last
was the
chance at a
downfall.
Super Bowl.
That was just. I honestly think.
their biggest downfall.
Yeah.
That's the biggest regret, dude.
And then he asked me why didn't I put Pete Carroll on that list.
Exactly.
He's
Exactly.
gonna ask me why they
exactly.
put Pete Carroll on that list. You have Marshall and fucking.
And he's got a
Lynch in that
He's got a
backfield.
history of that shit.
Skittle
Who
too.
just ran over 100 something
The
yards in
Skittle
that
king, and you
game?
won't give it to him.
Yeah.
Now, if Mike Vrabel somehow makes it to the Super Bowl, right? They find themselves in the same fucking predicament, right there on the 1 yard line. They don't give it to Derrick Henry. Don't ever ask.
That's
me
a
about
direct.
Mike
I
Vrabel
quit.
again.
That's
Don't
I
ever
quit.
ask
I
me
quit.
about Mike Vrabel again because I'll be the same thing, and that's exactly the reason why I didn't put Pete in my shit.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
It's not mine. It was my friend's one, but I switched that out for Andy.
You got to backtrack on it. It's okay.
I'm just hey. I'm all about the debate. I'm all about the discussion. Wanted to make sure that we discredit all other people that are trying to bring their opinions on our show. So there it is. Kevin, that was a terrible idea, but
What the fuck, Cat?
Any you guys got final thoughts before we kind of wrap it up and head into Thanksgiving break?
Yeah, Matthew Judon's crazy saying he don't like mac and cheese at Thanksgiving, boy.
Bananas.
Boy.
Bananas. You need some mac and cheese.
Boy.
Ooey gooey cheesy mac and cheese.
Boy.
all I'm saying is, Judon, I respect you as an athlete. I respect the way you wear those red sleeves like a freaking boss. But if you think you're going to come on this podcast and try to say something about my mac and cheese,
That was a crazy
you
shit I heard.
you a wild man. You know what he said?
was
He
the
said,
craziest shit I heard.
it's just noodles and cheese." No, motherfucker, it's not just noodles and cheese. It got seasonings in there. What white family are you eating with? Is just noodles and cheese?
That's
Come,
what I was
what
trying to
the
figure
hell are you talking about?
All right, since we gonna
Who
figure it out,
feeds you?
That's just for real. That's exactly what I'm
You know what I'm saying? Like,
what you talking about? Just noodles and cheese, bro?
Do you know what
There's
a
some
seasoning
cream
is
cheese.
called?
This fucking cheddar. There's sharp, Monterey.
All different cheeses.
all different
Top
kinds of
it, yeah.
cheeses. You're putting salt, pepper. You're baking it. You're putting crumbs on top for the
Also,
for the
wait a minute.
breaded
Who
hurt
baked
him?
macaronini and cheese.
Who hurt him?
I don't
Hold
know.
on,
He was
even
abused. He was
even at
abused.
its most basic level, even if it is just pasta and cheese, that's still pretty damn
fucking
good. That's pretty
Yeah,
damn good.
it's
Yeah,
still fucking good.
like
For everyone that doesn't know, Justin is white. That's why he likes the non-seasons. I don't know if people knew that or not. Just wanted to make sure we were clear.
I think. Look, I think.
I never knew.
Hey, that's like this Jerry Springer clip I have to show y'all later. We can't put it on here, but it's fucking comedy, bro.
Yeah, we'll take that shit off here. Yeah. take that off here.
No, but that shit crazy.
No, but yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like, where mac and cheese is like, it's like pizza. It's like, I've never had a bad mac and cheese. I've just had mac and cheese that's not nearly as good as it
There's
could
just some
be.
that are better.
No,
Right.
yeah, I've had mac and cheese where they just didn't have enough cheese.
Yeah.
on it,
Like,
know
if
what
you
I'm saying?
ever-
it's like, bro, I'm eating noodle with hints of cheese. Like, brother,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
not what I asked.
Like
for.
you never take a
You
bite
didn't follow
of, you
the
never take a
assignment.
bite of pizza and go, "Ugh." You go like, oh, this isn't the best pizza I've had. But, you
But
never
I'm
like,
gonna finish
Yeah,
it.
you never
Yeah.
disgusted by a slice of pizza.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna finish it.
Anyway, all right. Well, that's kind of all I don't know if you guys got anything else. We're
Go
heading
Blue!
Go Blue.
Go Blue! Big house, 12 o'clock. Let's get it.
Big
Fuck
game.
Ohio
We got
State.
I hope they lose every basketball
Man,
game.
fuck
this
you.
season.
Shut up. I ain't trying to get none of that shit.
Ohio State, baby. Ohio State.
Michigan. Come on now.
Bro,
Big
honestly,
house. Go.
when you talk about rivalries, like Ohio State, Michigan, obviously UNC Duke was one of my favorites, but Ohio Michigan from a football standpoint is definitely one of my favorite football
The game.
Yeah.
like things or whatever. So
game.
I'm so excited to watch it this weekend. And it's gonna be a good one. But
It will be. Well, I hope everybody out there has a good Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving.
Hope you do too,
We
bro.
appreciate you guys rocking with us again.
hope y'all be back.
The Trenches on Instagram, the Trenches_HB. Follow us on HedgeBetter at Instagram, YouTube, HedgeBetter. Check out the Trenches on YouTube.
subscribe,
Subscribe,
rate.
like all that stuff. We'll catch you guys
Help
next
us,
week.
help us.
Have a good holiday. Be safe, be easy, and we'll catch you guys next time. Later.
Easy.